In today's video, I'm gonna explain anatomy and function of deep lateral rotators of hip. Deep lateral rotators, because they are very deep muscles, literally they are located on deep place. What do I mean? I mean, gluteus maximus is removed, then you see these tiny muscles. I'm gonna explain its origin, insertion, function, and important anatomical relationship. Let me start from this muscle. This is piriformis. Piriformis, this muscle originates from sacrum. Sacrum, okay? By the way, this is two of muscles that originate from axial skeleton, then that crosses hip joint. Other muscles originate from pelvis, then they go to femur. Then what is the other muscle? That is psoas. Piriformis and psoas originate from axial skeleton, then they go to femur. They are very, very important muscles. Anyhow, this is piriformis. It originates from sacrum. Let me explain insertion later because these muscles are very close. Their insertion are very close. Okay. Then this is gemellus superior. Gemellus superior. What is gemellus? That is kind of the same meaning of gemini. Okay. Gemini. That means twins, right? This is gemellus superior. There should be gemellus inferior. What is that? This is gemellus inferior. Okay, it's simple, right? Gemellus superior, gemellus inferior. What is muscle in between these twins? This is obturator internus. Obturator internus. Yep, literally this muscle originates from inside part of pelvis. It's like this. Then it shows up, and it goes to femur. This is very important muscle. Oh, by the way, gemellus muscles originate from ischium, right here. Piriformis, gemellus superior, gemellus inferior, and obturator internus. Let me explain one more muscle from this picture. This is it. This is quadratus femoris. Quadratus femoris. It's slightly wider than other muscles, right? Quadratus. Quadratus means rectangular shape. Indeed, it is rectangular shape. It originates from ischium like this. I explained 5 muscles so far. Piriformis, gemellus superior, gemellus inferior, obturator internus, and quadratus femoris. What is the insertion of these muscles? Basically, they attach to greater trochanter. Greater trochanter is this big bony bump on femur. However, I want you to understand that if you want to be very, very specific, it has specific names for specific landmark. However, in this video, I want to be as simple as possible. So, in today's video, I say these 5 muscles attach to close to greater trochanter. It's simple to memorize, right? So, these are 5 muscles on posterior part. There's one more muscle that originates from anterior part of pelvis. What is it? That is this one. We just saw obturator internus. That's from inside pelvis. This is from outside. This is obturator externus. See, this is obturator internus. That's from inside. This is obturator externus. These muscles attach to obturator membrane. Obturator membrane. It is important to understand hip and pelvis connection around here. This is very important area. Deep to this area, what's there? There is obturator internus and plus pelvic organs. There is bladder, there is uterus for female, there is prostate for male, there is rectum. Pelvic area is very busy, very narrow, very compact area. If obturator membrane, obturator internus, obturator externus gets tight, that tightness could create the tension inside of pelvis. That's going to be a problem. Thus, tension of obturator tissue, obturator membrane, obturator muscles are important for inside pelvic balance. Frigging important part. So this is basic information of deep lateral rotators. There are 6 muscles in this group. Now let me explain their function. Alright, function of deep lateral rotators. What is function of deep lateral rotators? It's easy. It's external rotation. External rotation, deep lateral rotator. It's simple, right? Then, this is basic function. Some muscles can do abduction. Some muscles do adduction. And some muscles can do extension. So it's like insertion. If you want to be very specific, if you want to study more detail about deep lateral rotators, each muscle can do slightly different function, like abduction. Some muscle can do adduction, some muscle can do extension. Important thing is general function is external rotation. Plus one more general function, that is hip stabilization. Because they are deep muscles, they are important for stabilization. They are important for stability. Tendency of muscle is that big muscle moves joint, such as gluteus maximus, such as pectoralis major. These big muscles move joint a lot. On the other hand, tiny muscles cannot exert a lot of power like big muscles. Then, these tiny muscles are important for stabilization. Of course, they move joint. However, they are equally important for stabilization. Good flexibility of deep lateral rotators is important for good health of hip movement. Very important. Now, let me explain important anatomical connection. The most famous connection is this one. This is sciatic nerve. This is the biggest peripheral nerve in human body. Why is that so important relating to deep lateral rotator? Because this is piriformis. Sciatic nerve shows up from inferior part of piriformis. Then this nerve runs posterior from other deep lateral rotators such as gemellus superior, obturator internus, gemellus inferior, quadratus femoris. See this relationship? Again, sciatic nerve shows up from inferior part of piriformis, then this runs posterior from other muscles. So what if these muscles get tight? That tightness can create tension for sciatic nerve. What if nervous tissue takes a lot of stress? There can be pain, numbness, muscle dysfunction, joint dysfunction around glutes area, hamstrings area. See that? Then that can be cause for sciatica, pain, numbness, dysfunction. So, deep lateral rotator tightness can be one reason for sciatic nerve dysfunction. This is very famous connection, very important connection. Let me go back to obturator externus again. I said obturator externus and obturator internus originate from obturator membrane. Okay? There's membrane in this area. I said this tightness may create tension for inside part of pelvis. Then what's going to happen? There is high tension, lot of pressure inside of pelvis. Then what is problem about high pressure? Then that can compress pelvic floor. That can compress diaphragm. That can compress other areas such as transverse abdominis and maybe lumbar spines, maybe sacrum, maybe for internal organs. So, tension around this area can be one reason for pelvic dysfunction, core dysfunction, sacrum dysfunction, for many things. I don't say this is the masterpiece for core dysfunction. This is one of reasons of pelvic functions. So I tend to do myofascial release around here to solve hip tightness and pelvic tightness and tension around lower abdominal area, obturator area. Frigging important place. So in today's video, I explained basic anatomy and function of deep lateral rotators. I hope today's anatomy helps for your understanding hip anatomy. If you liked today's video, please hit the like button, comment and subscribe. See you next video.